Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Matwa Benard, a teacher of ICT. Before I go any further, I think let me give you first some overview of the reason as to why I have created this platform. One of the reasons as to why I've created this platform is to just make the educational part to proceed as normal. In other words, as we all know, basing on the current situation of the schools, majority of the schools have closed down and the students have gone back for holidays. So with this platform, with this YouTube channel, we shall continuously keep the educational part active. In other words, I'm going to be making the tutorials of which it will help learners from wherever you are. You just go to YouTube and you look for the videos and you'll get. So I'll be making videos for lower curriculum, that is from senior 1 to senior 4, and also for the old curriculum, that is senior 5 and senior 6. So from there, at least we shall get to know something. And before that, I'll first of all take you through the syllabus, of which a learner is supposed to know what he or she is meant to cover in the due course of the term or in the entire year in a particular educational year. That is, if senior 1, what a learner is supposed to cover from senior 1, in other words, from the whole of senior 1, as whole of senior 2, whole of senior 3, whole of senior 4. And as for this time now, the curriculum has been confined. In other words, from in O level, we do have some good number of topics, of which I'm going to show you and I'll tell you more about it in the next videos. So those topics have been divided into sections whereby it's meant to be covered. Like, for example, in senior 1 has its particular topic, senior 2, senior 3, senior 4, just like that. And as for A level, the same also, though it's a old curriculum. So we are going to handle everything from A up to Z. But in the due course, I'll be taking you through the procedures, in other words, the starting point, for you to know the overview of all that we are going to be covering. That's in simple terms, understanding the syllabus, generally, the old curriculum and the new curriculum. That is from senior 1 to senior 4 and the senior 5 to senior 6. So without wasting time, let me take you through the proposed scheme. In other words, how we are going to do it as for the beginning. Yes. As you're seeing, now here is my screen. And we are going to work on this. I've just created this file today, so because I want to really show you how we are going to move. But as for the moment, and by this, you are going to see how we are going to move. So let me widen it. So this is it. And as you have seen, the proposed scheme for O and A level ICT online lessons, that is paper 1 and paper 2. For the P is for lower curriculum, but as for S is subsidiary. That is for the A level, in other words, the old curriculum, senior 5 and senior 6. So for the case of O level, number 1, I'd put the personal introduction, of which I introduced myself. Maybe if you didn't get it at first, my name is Matwa Benard. I'm a teacher, and by profession, I'm a teacher by profession. I do teach ICT, and my other teaching subject is entrepreneurship. With time, I'll also begin making entrepreneurship or tutorials, but not later than this. I'm going to be making, but as for this case, let's concentrate on ICT. So, number one was a personal introduction, of which I've done. Then, number two, as you are seeing here, number two is introduction to O level. So, if I'm to say something small about O level is generally the beginning of the secondary level. In other words, that's from senior 1 to senior 4. And the ICT, it being in O level, it's an optional subject, of which, yeah, it depends on the school, but majority of the schools, it makes it to be compulsory as for senior 1 and senior 2. And from senior 3 to senior 4, that's when it is turned into optional. In other words, if a student really wants to offer ICT, he or she can go for it. But if not, then a student cannot go for it. So that is it. And another thing that I can say about ICT in O level, yeah, ICT, yeah, is a full course. That is, if someone begins from senior 1 and goes with it up to senior 4, that is a full complete course. So in senior 1 and senior 2 is more of introduction, and we shall see more about it, how everything is as in the beginning ones. So number 3 is introduce O level syllabus. That is what we are going to do. I'm just showing you, like, for the outlay, what we are going to see after some time, or after some in the proceeding videos that you are going to be seeing. We shall introduce the O level syllabus from broad to detailed perspective. Like, for example, when you see the syllabus book, it is very big and it has very many pages. So I made some documents which I really extracted some information from it, from that broad view, and I made it to detailed. In other words, looking for what can really help a student to understand the steps or the procedures, or what he or she is going to pass through the educational level of ICT in O level. By the way, I'm talking about ICT, ICT, ICT. ICT simply means informations and communication technology. So we shall also talk more about it, and it's in the proceeding video also. So number four, we shall also see the class termly and annual syllabus coverage. That is from senior 1 to senior 4. The annual or the termly, in other words, when I talk about the termly simply means what students are meant to cover in a particular term. It being senior 1, term 1, what the students are meant to cover, senior 1, term 2, what they are meant to cover, senior 1, term 3, and also the respective classes, what they are meant to cover. That is termly. And when I talk about annually, in other words, what a learner is meant to cover throughout that educational part, that is the whole of senior 1. So we are going to cover about that. And also number 5 is explanations of the elements of construct of both papers. That is theory and practical. When I talk about element of construct briefly, of which we are going to cover about it, element of construct simply shows the layout. In other words, how things are set in paper 1 and paper 2, just to make a student get that inside. So I am going to make that video, and we shall go through the element of construct also. So that was brief about O level. And when you talk about A level, we are going to, okay, number one, as for A level. A level number one is introduction to A level. When you talk about introduction to A level, uh, also if I'm to talk briefly about A level is a 2-year course of which majority of the students proceed with the ICT from O level and they join it in A level. And at some extent also some students just find A level they find ICT in A level. And in most cases students have bias, when you are teaching them, they're just like, master, for me I've not been doing ICT in the current years, so things are new, of which is not something really to base on for someone to get that excuse, because the ICT in A level again restarts again. Though at some extent, students, at some extent, students feel like I don't know anything the other people knows, but it just begins all in all the way it was at first. So that is it. And in addition to that, something that I can tell my learners that when you begin late, it doesn't mean that you will lose. That's not a guarantee. And in most cases, based on the current, or let me say the past years that I've been teaching, majority of the students who are really focused, who find ICT in A level when they had never done it before, they concentrate and instead pass or excel higher than those who were doing it in the previous O level. Reason being, those people in O level have that thing in them that, after all, for me, I know. So they do not put much emphasis. So in A level, yeah, I forgot to say something in O level. O level, we have 2 papers of ICT, that is theory and practicals. And as for A level, we also have theory and practicals. And to some extent also learners usually pass practicals highly as compared to theory. But with this channel, we are going to simplify everything. Believe me, at the end of these holidays, at least you will go back to school when you know something other than being green. I usually like telling my students that, like, to tell them the insight, what we are going to cover next, so that they come when they at least know. So I'm going to give you the overview, everything that we are going to cover, so that also by the time that I make other videos, at least when you have also made some research. So as for the intro, we are going to also introduce the syllabus, that is number 2, to introduce the syllabus that is now also breaking the syllabus from that broad view to a detailed view, for someone to really understand, a student to understand what he or she is meant to cover from senior 5 term 1 up to term 3 and the senior 6 term 1 up to term 3. That brings us to the number 3, termly and annual syllabus coverage. What a learner is meant to cover in a particular term, and what a learner is supposed to cover in a particular year, that is senior 5 and senior 6, so that that learner can be in position to prepare him or herself for the exams, that is UNEM. So after going through these contents, of which all are introductory, we are going to resume with our lessons, of which I'll be making videos for senior 1, senior 2, senior 3, senior 4, senior 5, and senior 6. The good thing, I've started this in time because majority of the students are going to the next class. Irrespective of some challenges, in school settings, some teachers have small syllabus coverage, others more. In other words, at some extent, some teachers have not yet finished what is meant to be covered in a particular class. They're going to forward it to the other class. And also, at some extent, some teachers are very fast in syllabus coverage. They have finished what was meant to be covered in a particular class, and they have even gone to the next class. So, however much of those differences, we are going to go systematically how everything is meant to be covered so that we understand. And for any other information, we shall be sharing through the comment section to tell me how things are, and any reaction just in case it's there. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and we meet in the next video. And for just the purpose of circulation, you can copy the link of the video and you send it to particular groups. Like, for example, I know there is Vakis who, like senior 4s who are going to senior 5. I know they have made some groups, WhatsApp groups. So you can send this video to the WhatsApp group so that they also forward to others, so that all of us can benefit throughout this holiday. We come back next year, that is 2025, when we at least know something or everything, if possible, irrespective of challenges, like, for example, data issues, that is internet, and maybe that aspect of digital divide. So, with these remarks, I want to just wish you a nice Sunday. Stay safe, stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification button so that in case I make any other video, you'll be notified and you watch. Thank you for watching. We meet in the next video.